Alrighty, so the JP patch notes are out, and yeah, not really what I was expecting, but either way, we're going to go over this thing because this is the next banner that we're getting on Global, should be on Tuesday. If you're new to the channel or anything, feel free to subscribe. We're trying to hit 12K before the end of the year, and I definitely think that we're going to hit it, so if you want to help out, feel free. But we have a new Valenti. The translated patch notes from Grand Cross Database weren't out when I first woke up, so I tried to look and see what it was on the JP patch notes, and I could have swore that this was a Ragnarok character because the banners and everything like that have like the winter and everything on them, and I don't know why, but I guess just like first waking up, I was like Ragnarok. But it definitely is not. We do have a new Christmas Valenti, so White Snow Present Valenti of Obsession, and I don't think it's it. But that's really good though, because that means it's a pretty easy skip. So, yeah, she's Red Valenti Mark II, of course, Awakened. So she uses the same cosmetics as the old one. I didn't buy any of the old one's cosmetics, so that's not good for me. But I don't really think that this character is going to be worth like using anyway. But her passive is decreases crit damage of enemies participating in battle by the value of 75% of the hero's crit defense. So I think that that's actually kind of cool, because if I'm not mistaken, the old Valenti was, no, she was crit resistance, so that's actually not as good. Um, Wait, no, crit defense is crit resistance, is it not? Right? Am I dumb there? There's no crit defense. No, there is a crit defense stat. I'm stupid. Okay, well, you know how it is. Pretty early in the morning for me. Anyways, so that's unfortunate. I thought that they were going to be using the same, like, gear pieces, which would have been nice because you could just swap the pieces like directly between Valentis, which would have actually been really nice. But the fact that you have to build like a specific set for this character, where it's either going to be like attack crit defense or attack or HP crit defense. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Crit defense is an okay stat, but it's not going to be great for CC. Escanor is the highest, or like the most used character in the game right now, and his stats cannot be lowered, so that also doesn't help her case any. I'm assuming the only reason they didn't lower crit chance, which would have been a much better way to go, is because of her holy relic, which is if a critical strike occurs from an enemy's attack on one of the hero's allies, the hero's attack is increased by 8%, limit of 5 times. So, I mean, I don't know. Crits are pretty easy to hit nowadays, I think, with a lot of like modern characters, that is. So there's a possibility that if you have her holy relic, you're going to be getting it off quite often, but I don't know. She's not that great either way. She has 2 interesting skills. I mean, I say interesting, but I mean they're literally just repeats of old character skills. Inflicts damage equal to 360% of attack on one enemy, and freezes for 2 turns. When the freeze is removed by using skills, ultimate moves, or after turns have passed, inflicts damage equal to 40% of remaining HP. So this is like the, I don't think she's a Christmas character, but there's a freeze Jericho that we have that has this exact same skill. So I don't know. It's not really great. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it. I do not think that it freezes at level 1. So that is kind of, yeah, it's a freeze at level 2 and 3. So the fact that it doesn't freeze at level 1 kind of hinders her quite a bit. That makes the level 1 skill really bad, and you would normally want to try to run her with like Gother or something, but I don't know. It just that's always like a really weird situation where you don't want to have to be pigeonholed into like running a specific character with another character, but it is what it is. So her second skill is an attack disable, which is actually not terrible. For some reason, when I was first looking at this, I thought it was another skill disable card like the other Valenti has. But an attack disable is really good in the meta at the moment. Plus, it's an AoE, so I mean, I don't know if this is the exact same one that Gother has, which I assume it is. It's not terrible, I guess, if you want to run her. I mean, I guess that's maybe where they're going with it. Like you can You can lower the rest of your enemy's crit damage, but not Escanor's, but it doesn't matter because Escanor's all attack, so you can use like a rank up on her or something and disable him. I don't know. I mean, she's not a terrible counter to Escanor in that sense. Like, you know, you can lock him down, make him to where he can't attack, or if you're running Gother anyway, you could upgrade and freeze him, so that way it locks him down for another turn. I don't know. Obviously, if people start running this character a lot, which I don't see happening, I don't see a lot of people summoning for this character, I guess people would just start running Margaret more. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty easy fix. I mean, if you actually run this character, people can just run Margaret to counter it, but who knows? The banner itself is actually pretty good. Of course, they're trying to bait you out because the next banners, like the New Year banner, is the one that a lot of people are a lot more excited about. Of course, so I don't really recommend summoning on this, but if you happen to have a stockpile of gems and you need some of these characters, now is a good time to try for them. I say try because she is the only character that is guaranteed from this banner, unfortunately. But this is the first time that Summer Deanne has come back, so that's really, really nice. She's really good for OG demons. I think this is the first time Wedding Brunhild is coming back, and she's actually really nice to have as well. And then, other than that, Christmas Lilia is really nice. Maybe Summer Merlin if you're still going on that whole thing. But those four characters are pretty much the only ones I would even consider pulling for. And then because the new Valenti's rated up, the odds are not great. I mean, there's not a whole lot of characters in here, so if you do pull an extra SSR, I guess there's a decent chance that you'll get something good, but the only one that I absolutely would love to have is Lilia, and it's because I don't have her, and there's no guarantee that I'm going to get her, so summoning on this banner is going to be really annoying for me. But either way, there are some new quality of life changes. When you tap on the free stage in daily stay or in daily mission, you will be teleported to the last free stage played, so that's cool. Awakening fusion or awakening material fusion, you can now just fuse the boxes in, which is actually really good because I hate these boxes so much. I really wish they would just let me sell the boxes, but at this point, the fact that I don't have to open them and I can just go to this screen and just use this to fuse them into materials is a-okay with me. Anything to get those things out of my inventory. Gear swap can now be searched, so that's actually really nice. If you go to if you know somebody has a specific set or whatever that you need, like I have like a 15% set for Ludo CL that I look for quite often if I'm going to throw it on somebody who doesn't have a UR gear set for themselves or doesn't have an HP defense set. So a lot of the times I'll have to blast through this long menu of gear that I have to try to get to Ludo, and now it should be a little bit easier. Of course, if you're playing on the JP version of the game, just note that this only actually accepts Japanese characters. It will not it will not pull up characters if you type in English, so that is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. You can now see Holy Relics registered to the unit when you're putting together a team, which is kind of cool, so that is neat. They're bringing back the Hawk's Treasure Hunt event, which is fine. This is the one where you can like cheese it by turning the game speed down really low. It's kind of annoying to play more than anything, but I guess it is what it is. So there's also special missions for a free multis worth. They're bringing back the Final Boss Brothers trio, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you get any of their outfits from this, which is really unfortunate because people really like getting Final Boss outfits. But because this isn't like the original run of it, like this is like a weird one that they do where they put Final Boss Meliodas along with the Final Boss Estarossa and Zeldris. It's not like I don't know what their reasoning behind this is, but you don't get these outfits because originally Meliodas was with Elizabeth whenever they did a Final Boss, and then I think these two were paired together if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure, but like I said, it's been a while. But yeah, for some reason you just don't get the outfits from this, so apologies for that, I guess. If you're really looking for the outfits, that's really annoying. I'm sorry for you. the rewards are pretty standard, pretty mediocre, I guess. I don't really. It feels like just a filler event. I mean, I understand that like people, people hate when they don't do events, and then people want them to do final boss reruns. But when they finally do a final boss rerun, they don't add the costumes for some reason. Very stupid. Either way, 1.5% addition, or you get 1.5 times the amount of PvP points, I guess, during this. Oh, they're doing the PvP streak event, so that's cool, I guess. PvP rules. Special rule: if all allies participating in battle are of different races, increase basic stats of allies by 30%. Okay, very interesting. Special rule: super awakening stats are not applied. Okay, I kind of like that one sometimes. PvP ranking rewards. They're doing the Brawl Box event, so you can get better rewards out of the Brawl Boxes. Growth support. 3 diamonds a day. I'll be honest, I don't remember what this one is. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's all that she has translated. I'm not sure exactly. I looked through the actual patch notes. There's not really any more than this. Unfortunately, I made a whole video about prepping for holy relics, and guess what? No holy relics, so that's really annoying. I've looked at the JP patch notes too. There's no holy relics at all. So I don't know what they're waiting for with those, but literally just added 2 of them into the game files, but we don't know what they do or anything. So hopefully that's soon. I don't know. Maybe next patch. I don't know. I mean, next patch is going to be one of the small in between weeks, so I doubt it, but. Either way, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one.